Hey guys, I wanted to show you something. This is a bill that was introduced by a bunch of Democrats. Here's their names right here. And HB 2746, you can see the title is Abortion Providers, Waiting Period, Ultrasounds. It's what it refers to. And I was looking through this, wondering what this was all about. And I just got to show this to you. So if you recall the passage of Prop 139, the language that it used in terms of who can perform abortions wasn't doctors, it was healthcare providers. And one of our suspicions was that, this means anybody could perform an abortion as long as they have the title healthcare provider. And of course, that's poo-pooed by people who don't want to believe that it's that bad. And I just wanted to show you that that indeed is the agenda. So here these Democrats have put forward a bill which has in it a bunch of existing laws, and they're seeking to modify those laws. And you can see that wherever they strike language out, they want to strike that out of the existing law. And wherever they write something in blue, that's in addition to the language of the existing law. And so I just want to kind of show you guys what they're doing. I'm just going to scroll through this as quickly as I can and just talk to each one of these. So first of all, under the definition of minor surgery. So the existing law says it means those invasive procedures that may be performed by a physician assistant. Okay. So currently it says that a physician assistant could perform what's called a minor surgery, uh, which includes things that are normally taught in courses, training approved by the board and so forth. Well, notice what they did. They're striking out the existing law says that includes an abortion, a surgical abortion, and they're striking that out. So that means, of course, that a physician assistant can perform a surgical abortion. I want to go down some more here and just point all of these out to you. Okay, here we go. In this case, the existing statute is here, and in this colored language, it says physician assistant scope of practice, healthcare tasks, supervising duties, and so forth. And I see they've struck out except as prohibited in section E. So we're going to kind of just scroll down there and see what we got here. Section E, a physician assistant shall not perform surgical abortions. Okay, they've struck that out. So right now you can't do it, and they want to get rid of that so that they can do it from, okay, so they're striking out things relating to penalties. Prescription medication. So right now the law basically says that only a physician can prescribe medication intended to perform or induce an abortion. Well, now someone besides the physician can do it if they get their way. Some other things struck out. They've added right here, healthcare provider means, okay, so they're changing the definition of healthcare provider. This goes right along with Prop 139, everything we suspected. They're adding this now because it's in blue. It means now, if they will get this passed, it means a physician who is licensed pursuant to Title 32, a physician's assistant who is licensed, or a nurse practitioner, or a certified nurse midwife. Okay, so now these people fit the definition of healthcare provider if they get their way. It's okay, under abortion clinics, rules and civil penalties. Currently, it says physicians performing abortions are licensed to a particular title, Title 32. They must demonstrate competence. Okay. Well, they're striking out physicians and they're inserting what they want, healthcare providers, according to the definition that they are trying to change. Down here, the requirement for an ultrasound, an evaluation on all patients, they're striking that out. They don't want the pregnant woman to get an ultrasound prior to an abortion. See, they're adding some other words here. All these additions here in blue, just again, they're adding the definition, the new definition, nurse practitioner, certified nurse midwife, or physician assistant. What else we got here? Yeah, striking out physician, putting in healthcare provider. There's some more I want to show you. Oh yeah, they've added, okay, this one in this article, let's see, definitions in this article, except context otherwise requires abortion. It means the death of an unborn child. Interesting to me that they're keeping that. They're not even trying to contend with the reality that abortion means the death of an unborn child. They're not even going to try to argue that. Again, they're going after the new definition of healthcare provider and what it means. Changing some things here. Let's see. They want to get rid of, this wasn't a huge deal, except that, yeah, they're just striking out some things. I don't think that was a big deal there. Yeah, the rest is just making sure they're redefining what a healthcare provider is. Oh yeah, so this one, an abortion, it currently says an abortion shall not be performed or induced without the voluntary aid and consent of the woman. Okay. And they're striking out. Okay. So this basically is the 24-hour rule. You have to wait 24 hours before you can get an abortion. They're striking that out. Again, striking it out here. More definition changes along the way. This one is striking out a person shall not write or communicate a prescription for drugs to induce an abortion. They're striking that out. Okay. They want the new definition of healthcare provider to be able to do these things rather than just the physician, so that a nurse practitioner, a midwife, those sorts of people can write prescriptions for the abortion pill. Okay, this one, let's see, I think this is the one I wanted to show you. In addition to other remedies available for the common and statutory law of the state. Okay, so this is pertaining to civil actions. So currently, if this section were violated, the way it currently reads there, if you don't follow this section as prescribed prior to the abortion, then certain people can't have a right to file a civil action. And those people include the father of the unborn child, if the father's married to the mother, and maternal grandparents of the unborn child. So they're striking out the father's rights to file a civil action and the grandparents' rights to file civil actions. This seems particularly egregious to me because what if something goes wrong and the woman were to die as a result of the abortion? Of course, there'd be a civil action filed, but you know, it's funny that you would strike this out because these people absolutely have a right to file a civil suit. And I suppose they'd have to go to some other part of the law, but they wouldn't be able to go to this part of the law for it. They're just trying to cover their bases. That's really all it is. Make this as free and easy as possible. This one, performance of an abortion by an individual is not a healthcare provider. Prohibition. It currently says an individual who is not a physician shall not perform a surgical abortion. They've struck out the word physician, inserted healthcare provider by their new definition. And again, changing the definitions. They're even striking out the definition of surgical abortion means the surgical instrument or machine used to terminate a disposable pregnancy. They don't like that language. And then this long section that they struck out, an abortion shall not be performed or induced without the voluntary informed consent. Again, they're striking out. And in addition to other requirements of this chapter, consent to abortion is voluntary and informed only if both of the following are true. They don't like these things. 24-hour waiting period, performing a fetal ultrasound and imaging, checking for the heartbeat. They don't want that, so they're striking all that out. Offering to provide the woman with an opportunity to view the active ultrasound of the unborn child. They're striking that out. Offer to provide the woman simultaneous explanation of what the ultrasound is depicting. Striking that out. Offer to provide the patient with physical picture. The woman certifies in writing before the abortion she has been given the opportunity, striking that out. So here's the thing. All of us who want to abolish abortion are, we don't really like these regulations to begin with because it all should just be abolished. However, they exist. And I would love to figure out how we can advance our cause using things like this to come out against, pointing to how absolutely cruel the left is. They don't care about women. Obviously, they don't care about the baby, and they don't care about sound medical practices as long as it advances their agenda. And so I would love to call these people out, all these Democrats who pretend like they're for women. These people right here, we need to figure out how to go hard in the paint and make sure their constituents know that they're behind things that absolutely are, even from their perspective, should be sound practices from their perspective.